Hey yo, what's crackin' and challengers? I'm your host, James Morelan, and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about my 90-gallon aquarium, and it's basically like my prized possession, and I shouldn't even call it an aquarium. I should just call it like an ecosystem encased in a 90-gallon fish tank. So basically, this is like one of my coolest tanks that anytime anyone ever comes to my fish room, this is the thing that stands out the most. Also, don't even mind these tanks. I'm going to move so you guys can't even see them because that's a spoiler for a different video. So anytime I ever bring anyone down here, this is like the centerpiece. This is like the tank that everyone notices right away because it is so big. It's like my biggest tank in my fish room, and the plants, the fish, the color, the background too is really amazing. So like all of these things add up to make one beautiful aquarium. And the main reason I want to call it an ecosystem is basically because there's so many different parts of this aquarium or ecosystem that all work together as one to make this beautiful and so filled with like life. It is so amazing. If you spend like 10 minutes just sitting here, you'll see tons of things move and interact with each other. Not only fish, but the snails. We also have clams in this tank. Also, just everything in this tank is just so awesome. It's been established for over a year. I've had it for a long time. Originally, I set it up as a community aquarium, and then I moved it around, and then it became a discus aquarium, and then tragedy struck, and you guys know that I lost a couple of my discus, and then I also got another one, but then I ended up during the summer giving that to my best friend, and then he sold his aquarium with that fish, so I no longer have them. I was going to make a video about that, but that was so long ago, I should just include in this video. And then I also decided to add angelfish and other things that were my 250-gallon aquarium into this tank, and now it just looks amazing. Like, the way everything is just set up, and how much time I've spent on this aquarium, everything just made this thing look beautiful. So the aquascape of this aquarium has changed a lot, but ever since I've had it, I've always had dragonstone. And this is a very awesome aquascaping like tool, or I guess block or material, that's used. And it has such great detail to it, even to this day after being submerged for probably more than a year. It still has all of its detail, and like some plants have started to root onto it, and some mosses have started to grow onto it, which is just really cool to see how the ecosystem is growing and maturing together, which is really awesome to see. So let's just start with the main fish that you might see straight off the bat, and those are my angelfish. I have a couple, and originally I did have an angelfish in this aquarium, and it became pretty large, more than 6 inches, which is like the average of angelfish, and it got even bigger. And unfortunately, it was too aggressive for that tank, so I ended up giving it to my fish store, and I basically lost hope in angelfish. I really didn't like them because I saw how aggressive they could be, so it was upsetting. I decided to give it away, and then I was basically done with angelfish, and then I decided, okay, I'll try it again. So I got some more angelfish when they were babies, and I slowly watched them develop and mature, and now they are pretty big, like substantially big. And angelfish are honestly one of my favorite fish to this day. That really changed my mind when I decided to get them. They look so awesome, and their big body fins make them stand out in a tank, and gladly they've been getting really well with these other fish in this tank. I also have some other couple like tetras and stuff, but one of my favorites are the school of Buenos Aires tetras. When I first got them, I got a lot of them, but some of them died off, and then I have what's left in this tank, and I do have a significant school size. They're very cool, and it's so nice that they move together in a group. If you have ever had neon tetras before, they basically act like that, but they're bigger, which is really cool to see because they're easier to watch, and it's cooler to see the bigger group move together, so yeah. So those are the main like top middle dwelling fish, but underneath all of that we have our bottom feeders. And guys, bottom feeders are literally one of my favorite like classifications of an aquarium. So we have plecos, cory catfish, we also have some Gararufo, which are like the skin-eating fish, but on top of that I have snails, and snails are like my favorite. I have some trumpet horns, I also have some assassin snails, and I also have some ram horn and some bladder snails. They grow so fast. I have like hundreds, probably thousands of snails in this tank, and I also do have some clams that go underneath the water. I think 2 of them have died, but I'm pretty sure they've bred to make a couple more clams in this tank, because every once in a while I'll see them and it like freaks me out because it's so cool to see them, because most of the time they spend their time underneath the substrate, so it's really nice to see them when they're above the surface. So my huge bottom feeding crew is probably the main thing that makes this aquarium run, because all the food that ever gets left over, all the little particles, all the other flakes that like the angelfish, the Buenos Aires don't devour, all of those get eaten up by the smaller fish that'll help decompose it. And if they weren't there, and I didn't have my bottom feeders, that would eventually offset the balance in the aquarium, and it could end up killing the fish. So the main fish that swim up here really have to rely on those bottom feeders to do their job, Of course, I do have a filter, and that's adding like additional support, but one of my favorite things is when you create a beneficial cycle that they help each other and basically let each other live and help each other live, if that makes sense. It's just so cool to see the harmony in the tank. I feel like I'm overcomplicating this, but I've had this tank for so long and I've thought about this so many times and I want to make this video so many times, and I'm hopefully should be having footage of all the fish that I talk about when I'm talking about them. I did recently feed all the bottom feeders. I use a pellet food and algae wafers down below for them to eat. So let's talk about the tank itself and the equipment I use. So this is a 90-gallon aquarium. I did get this used, and if you guys have not gotten any used fish tanks, stop what you're doing. Don't go to like Petco and buy a 55-gallon. Check on your Facebook Marketplace, check on your Craigslist, check on your, I guess, eBay maybe. Just like find used aquariums in your area and decide to get those. A, it's better for the environment because you're not having to use like fresh glass and stuff. You're able to rehome an aquarium, but also it is way easier on your wallet. I can tell you from experience, it's been really nice to be able to get an aquarium in the like double digits instead of having to get, I think a brand new one of these tanks is like a couple hundred maybe, plus the stand and everything. It's really good if you get them used. So yeah, environment and your wallet, the two most important things. No, I'm joking. But also, I do have 2 heaters in this aquarium. I'm currently only running one, but I do have a backup one just in case. So when I have my discus, you guys might know discus require a higher temperature when they're growing and when they're living. So I had 2 heaters, one is a backup, one is a main, and they were both set to basically the same temperature. So I was just thinking if there were to be any like shortage in one heater, that the other one would run as a backup to keep the temperature the same. Another thing is the fact that I have a really great filter, and that's the Fluval 306. Oh my gosh, it's 8 o'clock and all my aquariums are on different timers. My 60-gallon just went off, so maybe this will turn off. I don't know. If it turns off, I'll just turn it back on. But yeah, that is another thing. For all my lights, I'm using Beamwork lights, which are very affordable. And on top of that, I paired them with a Wi-Fi remote controller. So basically, I can control it from my Google Home or my phone, or it just sets itself on its own timer. So it's really easy. They're really cheap. I made an entire video about that. So basically, I can turn my aquariums on and off from my phone, which is really nice. And they also turn themselves on, so I don't even have to be here. Like when I'm at class in college, they'll turn on. And if you ever get more plants, or if you ever get special plants that require higher light or longer light, you can always adjust it, which is really, really nice and a lifesaver. And that is probably the reason these plants look so beautiful as they do. Although recently, I think I've had a nutrient shortage. I've kind of noticed some of the plants starting to get a little bit of holes. So I decided to start dosing it with some of my fertilizer from H2O Plants. You can get the fertilizer down below, and I'll have a coupon code if you guys want to check it out. It's a really good fertilizer. There's also a couple other out there, but it is very, very good. So I have a huge variety of plants in this tank. I mean, I'm really not the best at plants. I used to be, but I guess I forgot it. So I do have a couple crypts. I have some different Anubius. I have a really large one in the back, and that one unfortunately has lost a couple leaves. And the thing with Anubius is it takes so long to grow. So it's pretty disappointing having to see them go. I also have some bottom plants and some swords and stuff that are starting to take over on the other side, and I also do have some moss back there. And the moss is starting to take over in a corner, and it looks so cool because moss does also take a long time to grow. So the more you have of it, the more you can show that your tank is aged. And moss is very great for your aquarium. It can like absorb nutrients and stuff, and if you have shrimp, it can add to it. I'm not really planning on changing this aquarium up at all because I just feel like the way that it's synced right now is so awesome. I could see myself in the future maybe getting a couple other bigger fish. Oh yeah, I also do have a Gourami in this tank. But I might want to get a couple other bigger fish as long as they do well with my Angelfish. But I feel like we already have so many small and medium-sized fish that it looks already so good. Also, the background, which is one of my favorite in my entire aquarium because all the other ones are just basically like black pieces of cardboard. It was custom made by one of my Patreons and one of my like longtime supporters, Leon. Huge shout out to you. But basically it's vinyl that's been cut to have a discus design in the back of it, and I originally got this when I was having discus in this aquarium, and it also says Challenge the Wild, which is really cool because, you know, it's my name. 8. So I think that's about it for this aquarium. There's just, I'm sure I could keep going on and talking about different things of the aquarium. If you guys have any comments about it, like, I guess I'll just say my substrate. I'm using EcoComplete. It's a very, very great substrate. Most of them use volcanic rock, which is like crushed up, and it's really nice because it like has little pores and stuff on them, so it can absorb nutrients and it can store nutrients for plants to eventually grow into. I also have, I think I mixed some sand with it. Like, it's changed a lot because the original way that it was made, I just had black sand and like basic plants and stuff, but I decided to re-aquascape it, and I've done a lot of changes to it. And the way it is now, like I keep saying, it is I want to say perfect. I'm sure it's really close to it, but I don't know. I feel like there are some things that could change eventually. Before we end this video, I just want to know one thing about your guys' aquariums. What is the longest one that you've ever had? I feel like this is my longest, like, notable one. Of course, I still have my original 10-gallon, but it's not set up right now, and I do have my original 20-gallon, which was the first aquarium that I bought brand new, and it is a very awesome aquarium, and I'm planning on rescaping it. But I feel like this has been the longest established aquarium in this fish room, and I think it's grown and looks the best out of all my tanks. Comment that down below. I'd love to see. I'm sure some of you guys have had aquariums for 5 years, 10 years, I'm sure even longer than that, which is really cool and really crazy. And if you have any like really long-term aquariums, tell me what the fish in that tank are. I'm sure some of them are older and you probably had to replace them, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, that is going to be it for the video. Make sure you guys check out wildpetsupply.com. It's my new website for aquarium and pet products and stuff. If you guys wouldn't mind just like even checking it out if you're not planning on buying anything, if you want to give me some feedback or critique the web design, because I basically did it all myself. I'd love to hear that from you guys. There's some really cool things there. However, if you do have like a dog or any reptiles or any fish, you guys can check them out down below. I'd love your feedback and support. All your orders are oh my gosh, in the middle of a plug, the aquarium turns off. Google, turn on 90.
Sure, turning the 90 on.
Oh, it turned on. I also have the app so I can control it there. But all your orders will be shipped out by me. Check it out down below, and yeah. Also, if you haven't subscribed, we're going to be making some more videos on this channel, so make sure you hit that button, and also the like button if you haven't already. And again, drop comments of your oldest aquariums. I love you all so much. Catch y'all later. Peace.